What is a woman?
That's a stupid question, dude. That's a dumb question.
What is a woman? It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Someone who identifies as a woman.
You can't answer the question with the question. Yeah, define the woman without saying woman.
It's a social
You're in college, paying for an education. What is a woman?
How about you talk to someone with media training? How about you talk to someone
You don't need media training. It's not a trick.
Well, yeah,
What is a woman?
Did this individual just say talk to someone who has media training? It's very sad the fact that these individuals are going to college to apparently get higher education, but when they're asked such a simple question like what is a woman, they can't even answer the question. Or rather, the answer to the question that they have is a woman is a woman. That's similar to me, and I've said this in previous videos, like being asked what is a car, and my response to that person is a car is that thing that we call a car. That's the level of stupidity that we are dealing with in this day and age.
You can't answer the question with the... It's the college kids of America going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt who think it's a trick question when you ask them what a woman is.
Believe in reparations for people that are
So
in a
I, white man, have to play for black people. Why?
Wow,
Apparently.
that's a really selfish thing you
No,
just said.
hold on. Why should I have...
That's a really non-empathetic thing to
Wait,
say.
why should I have
Not
empathy
caring
for
about
a race?
people. I'm not saying for you to...
Why should the white students here have to work harder to pay for black kids? What is that all about?
These students, as per usual, are always confused by answers to these stupid questions that they ask. The ignorance and the stupidity of you to say that white people should pay black people, white people who have never engaged in owning slaves, and black people who are never slaves as well. And it's absolutely sad, as I keep saying, that these individuals are going to college, and the sadder thing is these people, when they leave college, will be able to vote. Let that sink in, everyone. These people, when they eventually leave college, will be the ones who will be voting for the leaders of the Western nations.
That's not racist, that's noticing. How is it the white man's fault that black men started to abandon the women?
It's a bigger problem.
No,
Socially.
blacks need to take responsibility for the women that they impregnate, not blame the white man or racism.
Things affect this.
Why didn't it affect the Asians? Why did the Asians do so well? America got less racist and the blacks got poorer because we started to subsidize single motherhood and pandering to blacks, saying you do not need to stay around with the women you impregnate.
So you feel like us as a society has pandered?
Of course we pandered to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job. You will have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how racist we are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
I have to say, sir, you are a very good shop debater.
Thank you. Like
we
that?
do not debate fascists! Small-face fascists!
Who identify as trans women.
Small-face fascists! Small-face fascists!
Why is that valid?
Small-face fascists!
How am I a fascist?
Small-face fascists! Can't get into West Point! Guys, start barking! That will work! Can't get into West Point!
You want to talk?
Bark! That's right! So I would just say, I think...
This is the new age of college students that we have going into college for higher education. The sad thing is college is not what it used to be years ago. Now anyone can get into college, and there's a bunch of stupid degrees that you can also get in college that don't help anything to do with your life. We have people like this student here who was just shouting because he doesn't want to hear the opinions of other people.
Hi Charlie, earlier you were talking about sex and gender, there only being sex, gender not existing. I was wondering like how you define male and female and like what criteria you use to define them.
XX and XY chromosomes.
Okay. So with like intersex people then who might be born with like XX chromosomes but they have
An exception to the rule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
one in every 25,000 cases. Yeah, but that doesn't make the rule any less true. It's like saying if you see someone with an amputated leg, you say, oh, wow, that's not normal, but you still have something normal to compare that to. It doesn't make that the rule.
Yeah, I guess, so my question is more like, if somebody then does have like XX chromosomes, but they're born with like male anatomy, or male anatomy.
So they're intersex.
Yeah, so would that person be male to you or female?
So if they're XX chromosomes with male anatomy,
Yeah.
I'm not even, how common is that?
It depends on like the specific, I think that one's Turner syndrome. So that can be like in 1 in 500 boys to like 1 in 2,500 boys.
How do you think they should identify?
I personally, in those cases, you know, like you say that there's only sex, but I personally think that those people should be able to identify how they want to identify because it's, you know, like, would you say that that's like an unclear circumstance or
why is this even the question? Because the purpose of this question obviously is because he wants to use this to compare it to people who claim that they're transgender when we know what their gender is based on what they are born as. He decides to bring up the minority of people, the very, very small minority of people who are intersex, and obviously he's trying to use that to support his argument towards transgender people, which is really just stupid. These people are very, very small minority of the population. So him using this as an argument is just ignorant.
Well, I think that their chromosomes are rather clear, right?
yeah. So
And they
then-
have displaced genitalia.
Yeah,
correct?
Well, I don't okay. But so you would want them then to present as female, even though
Well, it's
they
not a
have,
matter of what I want them to present, it's what they are.
Yeah, so they
And,
should.
and wait, did you say 1 in 500 cases?
Yeah.
That's insanely made up, I gotta be honest. Like, that, you said 500,000 or 500?
500.
No way. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what? Yeah, so 1 in 3,000 is more accurate. Okay.
All right, we can use 1 in 3,000. So.
Oh, just
Yeah.
a factor of 6, but yeah.
So then, do you think that those people who are, you know, they have male anatomy, they should wear dresses, present femininely?
What is their hormonal makeup? I'm curious.
Those people would have like male, like testosterone. So
They would have more testosterone than estrogen.
Yeah, in those cases.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that actually. Yeah, I'd have to
Okay.
think about that.
So
but,
then,
but the fringe case should not dictate the rule.
Well,
And that's the
yeah.
point. Is
I-
that fringe cases in any scenario, whether it be rape, incest, and abortion, or intersex with trans issues, is not the heat or the heart of the debate at all. In fact, if I understand correctly, the study on intersex, again, it's somewhat of a distraction of the few fringe cases, that there can be, at the young age, like surgery that actually ends up helping based on the hormonal makeup. Is that not right?
I mean, I think like it's better when they're adults to have certain procedures like that done. I think it can lead to issues when it's done when they're younger, but I do think that there are.
So then if you think that, do you think anatomy has anything to do then with determining biological sex?
In like, when you say determining biological sex, do you mean like in how we define sex, or like?
Again, I'm just curious. Again, I just want to reiterate, we don't have 15% of high school girls in America that are quote-unquote non-binary because of intersex issues. We have 15% of high school girls saying they're non-binary because it's a social contagion that is infecting people that are perfectly normal and healthy with XX and XY perfectly functioning genitalia system.
What Charlie Kirk just said there was absolutely true. They're not defining themselves as non-binary due to the fact that there is a small minority of intersex people. And I also just want to note that this individual student who is asking all these questions is for some reason wearing a mask. As I usually say in all my videos, they always have a certain look.
That's the real issue. And so, while I acknowledge this is incredibly murky and I need to think about it, this is a rare disease to muddy the issue up that biological reality needs to continue to exist regardless of somebody's own personal imagination.
Yeah, I think so. Like from my understanding of sex, like reproductive biologists don't necessarily use chromosomes. They use like what gametes you produce, like what sex cells, so like sperm or ovum. But I don't know that.
Let me try to find some common ground here,
Yeah.
okay? So when the Biden government comes out and they say that men can take drugs to lactate and chest feed, do you think we've probably gone too far?
I haven't seen Biden say that. So
That's okay. He didn't. His government did. But I'm just trying to find some common ground because, like, when the government says that it's, how about this? When the government calls women that are pregnant birthing people, do you think we're probably going too far?
I think I mean, I'd have to ask you like more questions about what you believe because I don't know.
It's pretty simple and transparent.
Yeah,
I believe what people have believed for 5,000 years, that there's man and woman and that you can't pretend to be something that you're not. I also believe what 99% of Americans believe. So it's really not that complex. But the fact you can't immediately answer gets right to the point of this, which is that we have this radical ideology that has infected every major part of American society. And I don't think we should be focusing on fringe issues or fringe cases when it's literally staring us in the face and it's a social contagion that is resulting in tens of thousands of people chopping off their genitalia to create irreversible damage for the rest of their life. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Charlie Kirk absolutely laid the smackdown on this student. The student was respectful, but everything Charlie Kirk said was absolutely true. All of this rubbish that's going around is just complete delusion and people feeding into all of these social media issues that's going on. It's absolutely sad. And as I keep saying, people need to start speaking up much more. But anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy, and I am out.